Hi everybody, it's Wave 3 News Meteorologist Ryan Hoke with a Hokey video blog update for this Saturday morning of Father's Day weekend. Looks like a great forecast, a little on the warm side for certain, and we do have that air quality issue to talk about. Let's dive right into today's Hokey weather fact, talking about how many days we get thunderstorms in Kentucky and Indiana, and generally, and this depends on your location exactly, we get just short of 50 days per year with thunderstorms involved in them. When you consider there's about 360 days a year, that's actually not too many. We actually have a lot more cloudy days for sure than we have those thunderstorm days around wave country. So you can tell your friends you learned that on today's Hokey weather fact. All right, weather headlines. Father's Day weekend, sunshine, increasing heat, low humidity for today and tomorrow. That increases on Monday, though, as the heat really ramps up into the low 90s. Storms next week with a cold front on Tuesday. We'll talk about it. Could be heavy at times, but we get a little cooler behind that. The unfortunate part is that cool down for late next week is looking less and less intense, especially the Euro model here, trying to erode that away and make it actually quite warm to hot as we move through that period as a ridge tries to build in again. So the long-term forecast, very murky right now. I think what is certain at this point is at some point this ridge is going to try to break down with a line of storms that'll be moving through it. Kind of one of these MCS setups from the Midwest that we'll see. We'll talk about that too as we head throughout the next several minutes. Outside this morning, a placid look to our Kentucky One Health SkyTrack camera in Jeffersonville. Beautiful sunshine and blue skies. Temperatures in the upper 50s in Seymour now. Tell City and North Vernon were both in the upper 50s as well, lower 60s to mid 60s at this moment. You'll notice a few clouds in central Indiana trying to move our way, but that's going to be tough to come by thanks to high pressure, a big dome of it that's centered across the Appalachian Mountain region. So for us, it's going to be the sunshine and, yes, the warming temperatures as we see that warmer air trying to wedge its way in over the next couple of days. Here's the air quality alert. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it's code orange, unhealthy for sensitive groups across the entire Louisville metro area. The Indianapolis area's air quality alert does include the Seymour area as well. So a couple distinct areas here with some air quality issues. Shouldn't affect most of us, but those with lung ailments may see some problems as we head throughout the next 3 afternoons. Humidity tracker. This is kind of a new product we like to show you here to give you an idea of how it's going to feel outside based on the humidity. Now today, it's not going to feel awful. In fact, it'll be in the humid to muggy range. Still that sticky part of the humidity tracker well off to our south and west. Tomorrow, I think that'll be kind of to our north as some of this air tries to undercut, this dry air tries to undercut some of the more humid air to our north. So it'll feel pleasant in a lot of locations, maybe pleasant to humid. By Monday, though, all bets are off is that sticky part of the sticky meter really wedges in here, and we start to see that moisture pooling ahead of that cold front. The cold front is right here, as you can see by the big drop in humidity behind it. So here's that 7-day breakdown. A few festivals going on today, including Summerfest at Chickasaw Park. Tom Joyner from 104.7 WLOU on FM will be there. 87 degrees. By 3 o'clock, we're up to 88 by 6. Plenty of sunshine. Take sunscreen and put it on if you're heading to Summerfest, the Pride Festival. If you're going to be outside for any duration of time today, you're going to need that because the sun will be very intense. 88 by 6 o'clock here in Metro Louisville at the Belvedere for Pride Fest. On our Sunday, that's a 10% chance of a shower. I just literally typed that in before I went on with this video blog here because I've looked at the latest data and I've made the determination that we actually need to add that in. And here's some of the data I was looking at here. This is Futurecast. You see some of these isolated showers trying to break out in our very northern counties. We were going to be on the periphery of this. That is sunk a little bit south, that periphery, into Lawrence, Jackson, and Jennings, maybe as far south as the Scottsburg and Austin area too, where we could see just a shower or a sprinkle, maybe an isolated thunderstorm as well. We'll have to watch for that. Shouldn't be severe or anything like that, but with this setup, we definitely don't want the forecast to bust, so we went ahead and proactively put in that 10% rain chance for tomorrow, even though maybe 1 or 2 folks will see those. 90 degrees for Father's Day, by the way, on our Sunday. The humidity will be all right, but with that increasing storm chance, it is going to be a little bit more on the humid side of things than previously thought, because it's just going to be sinking some of that more moist air down into here. So summer starts on Monday with a 93-degree high temperature. Summer solstice at 6:34. Shortly after that is when we start to see the days get shorter. Oh, I know a lot of people hate that when the days finally get shorter. I'm looking at our website here that gives us how long the days are, and it looks like by the 21st, that'll be the first day that we do see, unfortunately, that day length begin to decrease, but it's only by a few seconds per day, so it's not like it's going to be all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, a 6 p.m. sunset. No, we're still talking about 9 o'clock and thereafter sunsets for several days. In fact, we'll keep those sunsets at 9 o'clock and thereafter for at least a few weeks here, so don't worry about that too much. I know people want to sip and savor summer. You'll be able to. On Tuesday, this is when this storm chance comes into play with the front moving through. It'll be sinking on south from pretty much the Great Lakes. Here's the problem. Notice the time, 9:30 a.m. when the front is still well in central Indiana, maybe even north of where I've got it drawn here. And it'll come through during the afternoon, so that's during the peak heating of the day. Some of these storms could have heavy rain and gusty winds. We'll watch for that. I don't think that tornadoes are going to be a big deal, but that's something we'll have to see for an isolated threat. I think it is just going to be the wind and the heavy rain that is most of the issue. By Wednesday, we're at 85, 10% chance of a shower in the morning, maybe an additional shower in the afternoon. But notice how I've increased the high temperatures for Thursday and Friday behind this front. We were in the lower 80s. Now I've bumped us near middle 80s. We need to keep probably bumping this up in subsequent forecasts based on the latest data here. We'll give you the latest on that. It's just looking like the cold air, the cooler air, I should say, behind this front isn't going to be quite as intense, and that's certainly why we've had to do that. There may be one of these MCS lines of thunderstorms that tries to come through on our Friday, and that's why we've got a 20% chance in there. That may be plus or minus 24 hours, maybe as early as Thursday or as late as Saturday, but at some point here we are certainly going to be seeing the potential for some more thunderstorms as this pattern tries to break down a little bit. So here's what the earliest outlook looks like. 80s and 90s. Got a little bit of a heat wave toward the end of the month, ending with thunderstorms. The European model is gung-ho for these 90s. The GFS not so much, so I've kind of gone straight down the middle with that for now. We may need to make some adjustments as necessary on that long-range outlook. All right, guys, stay cool today, and of course, keep hydrated and use that sunscreen if you're out and about with those warmer temperatures. I'll see you tomorrow morning back here for Wave 3 News Sunrise.